Ever wondered how real castles become the epic worlds we see on screen? From the soaring spires of Hogwarts to the blood-stained halls of Game of Thrones, these historic sites have become stars in their own right. They don't just shape the look of a story, they inspire it, fueling a global set-jetting trend that's brought millions of fans to real filming locations. If you're castle-obsessed like we are, hit subscribe. And let's explore the top 10 real castles used in movies and TV shows. Number 10. Chateau Desamore, France. Chateau Desamore may not host film crews, but its influence on the silver screen is undeniable. Strict preservation rules and crowd logistics make filming difficult, yet Chambord became the visual blueprint for Disney's most iconic castles, especially in Sleeping Beauty. Its whimsical rooftop, packed with spires, turrets and chimneys, inspired animators, and its famous double helix staircase even appears in early concept art. That staircase, designed so two people can ascend or descend without ever meeting, is a marvel of Renaissance engineering. While Chambord doesn't appear in many films, its silhouette has shaped the fairy tale aesthetic for generations. Visitors don't come for movie sets. They come to walk the halls that sparked storybook fantasies. The Disney connection has fueled a surge in tourism. Annual visits rose from 730,000 in 2010 to over 1.2 million in 2024, making Chambord the second most visited chateau in France after Versailles. And while the connection to animation is unofficial, it's heavily embraced in tours, signage, and guidebooks. Standing inside, it's easy to see why. The castle's real-world grandeur, its elegant staircases, towering chimneys, and dreamy rooftops outshine even the most elaborate animated versions. Chambord may not be a film set, but it remains one of the most influential castles in cinematic history. Number 9. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland. Edinburgh Castle, instantly recognisable by its weathered stone walls and imposing presence. Its cinematic appeal lies in its lived history. Every uneven corridor and ancient gate has witnessed centuries of real use. Unlike castles that rely on themed tours, Edinburgh draws filmmakers and visitors alike with its raw authenticity. In T2 train spotting, sweeping aerial shots anchor the story in the heart of the city. In Outlaw King, the castle's silhouette sets the stage for scenes depicting the Scottish Wars of Independence. These subtle moments on screen nudge fans to visit, though Edinburgh's main draw remains its historical weight and status as Scotland's most visited paid attraction. Gaining filming access isn't easy. Productions face strict rules: no altering the structure, minimal on-site crew, and tight coordination to avoid disrupting tourism. Filmmakers often turn to CGI to remove modern elements and create period-accurate landscapes without touching the site itself. These limitations raise costs, but the payoff is worth it. Edinburgh Castle's enduring screen presence comes from its character. It doesn't just sit in the background, it elevates every frame. Staff occasionally share filming anecdotes during tours, but the true star is always the fortress itself. Number 8. Bamber Castle, England. Bamber Castle stands weathered by centuries of storms and conflict. With a Norman keep and later additions, this fortress offers filmmakers a ready-made slice of history. Its silhouette became the face of Bamber in The Last Kingdom, anchoring the show's story in real-world heritage. While most scenes were filmed on sets, exterior shots of Bamber gave the series a powerful sense of place. Visitor numbers have surged since the show's debut, with fans eager to explore Uhtred's ancestral home. The castle's dramatic setting and layered architecture have also drawn big-budget productions. In Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, it stood in for a 1960s archaeological site, needing only minimal props to shift between eras. Its versatility comes from a blend of medieval and later styles, preserved under strict rules that limit alterations. For Macbeth, filmmakers used CGI to enhance battle scenes and relied on drones for sweeping aerial shots, avoiding scaffolding that might damage the site. Weather poses constant challenges. Sea spray, wind, and sudden storms complicate logistics, but filmmakers and tourists keep coming. Bamber embraces its screen legacy. Social media highlights its cinematic roles, and guided tours share behind-the-scenes stories alongside tales of ancient battles. For fans of both history and film, Bamber offers something rare: a castle that feels both legendary and alive on screen. Number 7. Dova Castle, England. Dova Castle's military legacy is matched by its labyrinth of tunnels, which played a vital role in both World Wars. Originally dug during the Napoleonic era, these deep chalk passageways became command centres and shelters in the 20th century. When the creators of Avengers, Age of Ultron, needed a convincing Hydra base, they chose these tunnels, using CGI and set dressing to create the illusion of futuristic tech while preserving the ancient walls beneath. The site's real military history lent authenticity to the sci-fi action, and its gritty atmosphere required little enhancement. English Heritage, which manages the property, enforces strict preservation guidelines: no pyrotechnics, limited equipment, and zero structural alterations. Filming in the narrow underground corridors demands precise planning and close coordination with conservation staff. Despite the challenges, the cinematic connection has boosted interest in Dova Castle. English Heritage reports that over a third of visitors now ask about filming locations during tours. New exhibits spotlight both the castle's wartime role and its Hollywood appearances, enhancing the overall visitor experience. The balance between blockbuster spectacle and historical preservation makes Dova Castle a rare kind of filming location, one where centuries of real conflict echo through scenes of fictional war. It's not just a backdrop, it's part of the story. Number 6. Hever Castle, England. Hever Castle is a rare Tudor time capsule with preserved architecture and interiors that need little alteration for film. As the childhood home of Anne Boleyn, its history is etched into the stonework, making it a natural choice for productions like Anne of the Thousand Days and Lady Jane. Original paneling, fireplaces, and period details let filmmakers anchor their stories in genuine history, even as scripts take creative liberties. Set dressers often use artifacts from Hever's own collection to enhance authenticity. Filming here requires careful coordination. As a museum and tourist site, shoots are planned around visitor hours to avoid disruption. Strict preservation rules protect delicate features, heavy equipment is limited, and lighting setups must be minimal. While CGI might be used for subtle enhancements, the castle itself always remains the star. This careful approach lets Hever serve both cinematic vision and historical stewardship. In 2022, the castle welcomed nearly 420,000 visitors, an 8% rise, partly driven by renewed interest from its screen appearances. Guests often recognize specific rooms from historical dramas, blending their love for Tudor history with the thrill of seeing familiar scenes in person. Unlike some locations, Haver doesn't aggressively market its film ties. Instead, it quietly lets its authenticity speak for itself, and audiences keep listening. Number 5. Novanstein Castle, Germany. Novanstein Castle is the ultimate muse for Disney's vision of the perfect fairy tale castle. Its white limestone facade, soaring spires, and Romanesque arches became the blueprint for Sleeping Beauty Castle, shaping how generations imagine fantasy kingdoms. Despite its influence, though Disney never filmed here, the connection is unmistakable. Strict Bavarian preservation rules and thousands of daily visitors make large-scale filming nearly impossible, keeping the interiors untouched by production crews. Over 1.3 million people visit Novanstein each year, with peak summer days drawing up to 6,000 guests. Many come hoping to see the real-world inspiration behind Disney's castles, but official tours focus on King Ludwig II's ambitious 19th century vision rather than animation. Because the interiors are delicate, films like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang relied on distant exterior shots. Today's productions often use CGI to capture the iconic silhouette without disturbing the structure. Castle staff acknowledge the Disney connection in brochures and tours, knowing it draws global attention. Yet Novanstein's enduring appeal comes from more than fantasy. Its uneven towers, hidden grottos, and dramatic alpine setting offer a richness that outshines even its animated legacy. Blending history with myth, Novanstein remains one of the world's most recognizable and beloved castles, an icon not just of cinema, but of imagination itself. Please don't go anywhere yet. We've still got castles linked to James Bond, Outlander, and a certain school of witchcraft and wizardry. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, now's the time. Number 4. Island Donan Castle, Scotland. Island Donan Castle's stone bridge and rugged towers instantly recognisable to film fans worldwide. The producers of Highlander chose this dramatic setting for Conor McLeod's ancestral home, drawn by its isolated, brooding atmosphere and authentic medieval architecture. Rather than rely on elaborate set dressing, the film embraced the natural landscape and castle features to enhance the story's mythic tone. Filming at Island Donan posed unique challenges. The crew had to schedule around changing tides, which cut off access for hours at a time. Transporting equipment and personnel required detailed planning, and unpredictable Highland weather often delayed production. Instead of resisting the elements, the team used shifting light and mist to create visual depth. CGI was reserved for subtle atmospheric effects, allowing the real castle to remain the visual centerpiece. Highlander's cult status continues to draw a global fan base to Island Donan. Though there are no official movie tours, staff acknowledge its screen role during history walks, and the gift shop features merchandise that nods to the film's legacy. The castle's appeal also lies in its versatility. Later productions like The World Is Not Enough and Rob Roy used it for entirely different genres, proving Island Donan can shift from legend to espionage without losing its mystique. This cinematic flexibility, combined with timeless beauty, has made Island Donan not just Scotland's most iconic castle, but one of cinema's most enduring. Number 3. Dune Castle, Scotland. Dune Castle stands out for its ability to adapt to wildly different stories, serving as both the comedic backdrop for Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and the dramatic setting for Outlander's Castle Leoch. Its 14th century courtyard and unaltered stonework provide an authentic medieval environment. Changing eras is as simple as swapping out tapestries and props. Monty Python used clever camera angles to turn the same gatehouse into multiple fictional castles, while Outlander transformed the interiors with period banners and furnishings, without altering the architecture. After Outlander's debut, Dune Castle saw a 44% spike in visitors, reaching over 32,000 in a single year. It now offers audio tours narrated by Terry Jones of Monty Python and Sam Heughan of Outlander, connecting fans to both legacies. Tour guides share filming anecdotes, like the famous coconut horse sounds, and highlight how productions used conservation-friendly methods, relying on set dressing rather than structural changes. Strict rules on lighting, fire, and equipment require creative solutions, all designed to preserve the site's historical integrity. Dune Castle proves that a historic location can embrace screen fame while safeguarding its past. Its balance of authenticity and adaptability allows filmmakers to tell vastly different stories under one roof, and invites fans to experience both the humour and the drama firsthand. Number 2. Highcliffe Castle, England. Highcliffe Castle became the face of Downton Abbey, its Victorian architecture and preserved interiors matching the Crawley family's world with remarkable accuracy. The Carnarvon family, who still live there, adapted to theme by relocating from certain wings during production, while keeping others private. The show's crew needed minimal set dressing. The library, dining room and bedrooms already reflected the period, allowing viewers to connect with the real history behind the drama. Filming inside required careful planning to protect delicate features. One key challenge involved using custom low-impact lighting rigs to avoid damaging intricate plasterwork and historic paintings. Artifacts were temporarily moved out of harm's way, and conservation rules limited the use of heavy equipment. These precautions ensured the interiors remained intact, even as they appeared on screens worldwide. The grand oak staircase, library shelves and staterooms became instantly recognizable. The Downton Abbey effect transformed Highcliffe into a major tourist destination. Tours often sell out, and themed exhibits, merchandise, and even Highcliffe Castle gin enhance the visitor experience. Revenue from screen tourism now supports the estate's upkeep, helping to balance accessibility with preservation. Guests frequently ask about specific scenes, eager to see where fiction and history overlap. By blending cinematic fame with authentic heritage, Highcliffe Castle has become more than a filming location. It's a cultural icon, both on screen and off. Number 1. Alnwick Castle, England. Alnwick Castle's transformation into Hogwarts for the first 2 Harry Potter films marked a turning point in its history. According to a UK Film Council report, tourism surged by 120% after its on-screen debut, generating an estimated £9 million in local revenue. The castle's grand courtyards and varied towers gave filmmakers a setting that needed little CGI. The Outer Bailey became the site for broomstick flying lessons, the Lion Arch led to the Forbidden Forest, and the Inner Bailey hosted the flying car crash. Producers chose Alnwick for its ability to represent multiple corners of Hogwarts without digital trickery. Filming came with logistical hurdles. As a working ducal residence and tourist site, strict rules protected the stonework and artifacts. Pyrotechnics and heavy rigs were banned, so scenes, like the car crash, had to be choreographed around visitor hours using wires and green screens that could be swiftly removed. CGI extended towers and added magical landscapes, but the real architecture remained central. Today, Alnwick fully embraces its cinematic identity. Broomstick training sessions and guided tours highlight key filming spots, allowing visitors to step directly into the wizarding world. This blend of immersive fan experience and medieval authenticity continues to draw global attention. Alnwick Castle proves that timeless architecture, paired with the right story, can transcend fiction and bring magic into the real world. These castles show how real-world architecture brings our favorite stories to life and keeps history alive in the process. Every on-screen moment fuels tourism, preservation, and imagination. Which castle surprised you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to know your favorite. And this is just the beginning. Subscribe for more journeys into the castles that shaped history and the movies that brought them back to life.